HCTV Sports is supported by the Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs.
Making the play.
He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's ball game. Over. Safe. Oh my God!
Did you see that?
Great diving play.
He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
Hello everyone and welcome here to Hastings Civic Arena on HCTV Sports as we get set for a girls hockey matchup here between the Simley Spartans and the Hastings Raiders. The Spartans come into this with a record of 8-10-2 on the season. The Raiders 4-15-1. I'm Owen Ely on the broadcast. Happy to be back with you. Just moments away from puck drop here in Hastings, Minnesota, a city that it's going to be pretty important to hockey over the next week or so. I'm sure we'll get to that later on throughout the broadcast. So we get set for both of the lineups here between these two teams. The Raiders, with 4 games remaining in the season after this one. Like I said, a 4-15-1 record. So we get the starting netminder there for Simley. That's Reese, one heck of a goaltender. We'll talk about her in a moment. The Raiders 1-4-1 in the conference, coming off of a big victory on the road at Morris Benson, a 12-0 victory on the road. So they're looking to close out this remaining portion of the season in tremendous fashion. Simley 8-10-2, 3-2 in their conference. They're 1-2-1 in their last 4 games, so looking to get back towards some of their winning ways that they've had throughout the majority of the season. As we get to some of the lineups here for Hastings. Always great to see multiple generations, if you will, of hockey players being recognized. There's Annie Schreifer, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points on the season. One of the better defensive forwards on this team, only a 10th grader. And there's the starting goaltender here for Hastings, Addison Lanning. Having one heck of a senior season. It's Molly Magnuson, followed by Olivia Erickson. Very speedy defenseman, 11 points on the season. And the captain, Sophie Torkelson, 7 goals, 13 points on the season. And Mackenzie Krauth, one of the bright spots here for Hastings, 13 points on the season, only a freshman. Just moments away from puck drop here. We'll get to the national anthem here, and we'll come back with some hockey.
A special thank you for the efforts of the officials for tonight's contest. We ask that you continue to show your appreciation and great sportsmanship to our officials and to our opponents. Gentlemen, ladies, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, a brilliant rendition of the national anthem. Nice and orchestral. It's nice that they switch that up every now and again, but now we are truly just moments away from puck drop here at the Hastings Civic Arena. These two teams, they played earlier in the season, back in 2025 on the 5th of December. We'll get to that in a moment here. We'll look at the goalie matchup here. Mackenzie Reese, you can see a stellar goals against, 2.65, 91% save percentage. Addison Lanning, 88% goals against, and a 4.35 save percentage, or actually I think that's the other way around. Either way, 2 stellar goaltenders, 3 shutouts for Reese. And the stats are a little bit deceiving with Lanning, just given the amount of shots that she takes per game. It comes out to 33 shots on net per game for Lanning. She saves almost 29 of them. So a lot of volume for Lanning, one of the better players on this Hastings team. Like I was saying, these two teams, they played earlier in December. It was a 1-2 loss for Hastings on the road at Veterans Arena over there in Invergrove Heights. So it's interesting to look at these two teams and their trajectories and what they've done this season. And most importantly, you can look at that head-to-head matchup and see that it's very competitive hockey being played when these two teams are on the ice. And with that, we're underway here from the Hastings Civic Arena as the Raiders win the initial face-off. Puck wrapped around behind Reese. Race for the puck here, going to be easily won by Hastings. A pass, an errant pass, going to nobody, and they'll call that an icing. So a quick stoppage here, 25 seconds into this one. Have a defensive zone face-off here for Hastings. Careens off of one of the referees there and takes an awkward bounce. We're going to pass back here to the blue line for Simley. A shot fired wide right. Like a Scott Norwood field goal. And another long pass. Not going the way of Hastings. They'll get a line change here, but this face-off is coming right back into the Hastings zone. Face-off won there by Siebenaller. Siebenaller, 2 Spartans on either side looking to flip the puck out of the zone. It was taken by Hamann. Now a race for the puck taken by Hastings. Could be interesting here. Couple of moves, fires that one off of the glass. Back behind Reese, watching on, hugging the near side post. We get a shot from the point. Easily deflected there. Now Tecido. We're going to dump and chase here. Puck smashing between 2 players. Short little bounce pass from Siebenaller. Results in a partial line change here for Hastings. Puck was working its way towards the middle. Recovered there by the captain, one of the captains, Sanders. Sanders carrying the puck up the zone, splits 2 Raiders defenders and takes a spill, tries to fire that one in on the near side post. Sanders, certainly a player that we'll be talking about here tonight. 26 goals on the season, 40 points to go with that as well. The most productive player statistically on the ice for either team. Now the Raiders settling it down in their own zone, looking to pass. Takes another bounce, and we'll get yet another Hastings icing here early on in this one. A lot of stoppages here early on. We'll have O'Reilly on the faceoff here for Simley. Hastings trying to connect on a couple of passes. Webinger takes it back behind the netminder. Now the Spartans were working their way there towards Lanning, stripped away. Now anybody's puck. Webinger, the junior. Bounce pass off of the boards, a race for the puck. Taken here from Magnuson. Couple of quick passes for Hastings. Pass nearly stolen away, sort of left in that, hugging that board. Now the stick bouncing off of Johnson. Icing's going to be waved off here. Hamann sends it along the boards. Now back right where it came originally. Siebenaller frees the puck. Kicked away from Shepard. Get a line change here for Simley. Stolen away just outside of the Raiders' blue line. We got a player taking a spill. Results in an opportunity here for Hastings. Shot goes right over the top of Reese off of the stick of Siebenaller. Now a 2-on-3 here for Simley. Bounces easily off of the knee pads there of Lanning. A hard pass, bounces right off the board, swept down low from Torkelson. Spinning centering pass intercepted, backhanded by a Raiders forward. Dangerous play there for the Spartans. A little centering pass, bouncing around in the crease. Settle down on the far side, and they keep it onside, sent in down low. A couple of great opportunities there for the Raiders. Puck crashing in. It's going to be in the net. They're going to wave it off as the net comes out of the moorings. That was Ella Sanders trying to get her 27th goal on the season, maybe even a nutmeg there. Couldn't see from that angle, but she might have had Lanning beat if she had a little more runway there, but takes a spill off into the netting there. Defensive zone face-off here for Hastings. Hamann, a short little pass, too long for Woodwick. Back here with the Raiders. Puck was tipped free from a Hastings forward, now in the corner for Stoffel. Pumps the brakes. Shot deflected. Hamann locates it. Cross-ice pass. And now yet another race here for Hastings. Takes an interesting bounce. Raiders still with the puck here in the offensive zone. Bouncing down low for Woverus. Hugs along the board, stopped at the blue line right in front of the Spartans bench. Got Reese reacting out of the net on that one. Officially 2 shots on net here for Hastings, 1 for Simley. Shot and or pass there deflected wide left. Trying a centering pass into a mass of bodies there, and we'll get a clear. Results in a line change here for Simley. Back in the corner. I think one of the referees wanted icing there. The closest one did not, so play will continue. Looking to pass. Stoffel picked out of midair there from Shepard. And a dump and chase here for the Spartans. Magnuson on the pass. Halted at the blue line from Webinger. Stoffel giving a little thud there in the corner. Puck breaking free, under 10 minutes to go here in the opening period. Couple of passes here for Hastings. Puck really liking the Raiders' defensive zone here. Spartans doing a good job of stopping any progress, certainly before it gets to the blue line. However, it is broken free, swept away from Schreifer, and look at a complete line change here for Hastings. No icing on the play. That one goes long of Siebenaller. And the Spartans with an opportunity. Shot fired to the left. Now Hastings maybe with some numbers here. Pass goes a little long. In the corner, 2-on-1 here for Hastings. Looking to find a centering pass. Little backhander. Stolen away here for Simley. Now Haynes, centering pass, crashes off of the boards. Stifling defense here from the Spartans at the blue line. Sanders fires a shot off of the shin of Hamann. Sanders looking to regroup, nearly poked away from behind from Woodwick. Sanders again, creeping over on the wing. A shot whiffed on. And a dump and chase here for Hastings, going to be won by Simley. Still heavy pressure there from Woodwick, the freshman. Slips past a couple of players and put in down low from Olivia Erickson. The Raiders pass back to the blue line for Erickson. Favors that same spot. Erickson will send it down low. Allison Werner in pursuit. Puck was closed out on from Schreifer. Now the Raiders looking to get back into more open ice. We'll get a dump and chase. Circling around the face-off circle. Labor with the pass up to Vivian Johnson. And we will get an offsides call here against Simley. Well, we'd like to thank the Spool House for sponsoring the broadcast. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. More information can be found at thespoolhouse.com. This broadcast also on Town Square Television. Under 7 minutes to go here in the opening period. Still scoreless despite a lot of action between these two teams. A lot of opportunities, but only 4 shots on net, 2 for each piece. For each team, make that 3 now for the Spartans. Stoffel's pass going long, stopped by Webinger. Now Schreifer trying to get something going there, fires that one top shelf. There's a 1-on-4 there for Schreifer, who's just carving up the defense, and luckily for Hastings, we'll get a icing call, so that's going to go back right into the offensive zone here. Under 6 minutes to go here. Schreifer wins the face-off. Puck working its way Down low, Tecito pinned along the boards, swiped away from Torkelson. Pass goes long of Schreifer. Stopped at the blue line there from Solberg. Now the Raiders in pursuit, tip the pass. Pulling the reverse card here on the Spartans. We saw a lot of this the other way around a few minutes ago. So both teams just very defensively sound with their forwards in the offensive zone here tonight. Intense game. Erickson circling around Reese. Looks to connect on a pass. Kept on sides there from Stoffel. Stoffel's shot and or pass deflected right back to Stoffel. Maybe a little bit of confusion there on the part of a handful of players there, not knowing where that one ended up. Sanders with a juke, pushed out too far, and she'll fire that shot from a suboptimal angle. But Sanders certainly somebody to watch here in this one. Anytime she touches the puck, she is liable to score. Now a short little reset here for the Spartans. And we'll get a whistle here with 4:18 to go before first intermission. Face-off's going to be coming right back into the offensive zone for Hastings. It'll be Haley Siebenaller, the senior, on the face-off. Yet another face-off won here for Hastings. Dangerous opportunity. That puck was just sliding across the crease. A couple of Raiders in the vicinity. Puck poked away from Magnuson, who was crashing in. Magnuson again trying her best to impede. It's going to be a prime opportunity here for the Spartans, but it was just shut down immediately from Stoffel. Did not give the angle on that one. Pushed everything to the outside. A little nutmeg pass. Thing of beauty there for Hastings, but it's swiped away. Hastings closes out the puck. Pass right back. Dumped in here for the Spartans. Stoffel's pass tipped off of the stick of Schreifer. Simley's going to have to get on sides here. Puck fired in from Schreifer. It's going to be greeted by Krauth. And now the Spartans, Staples carrying the puck up. Little backhander crashing in. And we're going to have a penalty here on Hastings after they stop that brilliant little play there. And we might have a player down here for Simley. And it looks like she'll work her way towards the bench. We'll take another look at the replay there. A great idea from Staples, trying that backhander. If it doesn't go in, it's very successful just to try to crash on a rebound, especially at the high school level. But a great play results in a poor play for Hastings and a minor penalty. So we'll have a 2-minute power play here for Simley. Sophie Torkelson, the player in the box here for Hastings. Hastings at time has been pretty good with the penalty kill this year. We'll see if they can kill one here. 90 seconds to go. Sanders shot fired. A couple of players spinning around. And that one just a few inches outside of the post. Nearly tipped in by a Spartans forward. Shot fired, deflects off of Lanning and ripples off of the netting. Centering pass, point blank, shot stopped by Lanning. Now Webinger fires that one, tipped in the air, far side corner. 50 seconds to go. Poked away from Schreifer. Results in a much-needed line change here for Hastings, so we'll get some fresh skaters out on the ice. Siebenaller being a menace and clearing that one. That's going to kill some time here. Now only 30 seconds to go before the penalty is killed. Only 70 seconds to go here before the first intermission. Sanders fires another one, and a armpit save for Addison Lanning. Well, we'll take another look at this. The best skater on the ice versus maybe the best goaltender on the ice here tonight, and Lanning wins that one, which is why, like we say, you know, the stats can be a little misleading. You know, 4.35 goals against, but you just watch her play, the eye test. Tremendous player. And with that clear, that's probably going to kill the penalty here. And we'll be back to some even strength hockey here. 45 seconds to go here before the first intermission. Frantic pace of play here between these two teams. Couple of long passes here for Hastings that couldn't quite connect on that final one. Puck wrapping around the boards. See if Hastings can maybe get one final opportunity here. Back to Erickson at the blue line, comes crashing in. Pass and or shot intercepted, and now Sanders with speed. Brilliant juke, and just ran out of real estate. That one smothered up by Lanning. Sanders doing everything she can to try to break this scoreless start. With the face-off, another one won by the blue and gold. And with the puck pinned against the boards, that's how we're going to end the first period here from the Hastings Civic Arena. It was a fun one to watch. Plenty of opportunities on both sides. A penalty kill for Hastings, but when it's all said and done, a scoreless first period here from Hastings Civic Arena. We'll send it to intermission, and we'll come back in a few minutes with period number 2.
He gets the pin.
What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's moving. It is over.
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One, touchdown Raiders!
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
But here is the difference for the class of 1990.
We went from Mile High Eagles to Allen Peck.
I know you're all excited about Y2K. You could lose power or party like it's 1999.
Hastings High School has been graduating seniors since the first commencement in 1987. Congratulations, class of 2023. Go Raiders!
Funding for community TV is in rapid decline. and HCTV will not survive without your help. Let your local representatives know that you support community TV. To learn more, visit savecommunitytv.com.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hastings Civic Arena as we get set for period number 2 here between the Hastings Raiders and the Simley Spartans here on Town Square Television. We'll take a look at the, and Hastings Community Television of course. We'll take a look at the Metro East Conference here. There you can see these two teams right in the middle. Simley 3-2 in the conference, Hastings 1-4-1. Simley with a few more wins, 8-10-2 on the season. Hastings trying to finish strong here after a 5-15-1 start. Both of these teams played a very good first period, although statistically the Spartans outshooting the Raiders 8-2, which has been a common motif throughout the season, but thanks in large part to Addison Lanning, who we see on the monitor there. She has kept the Raiders in this one. Raiders ended the first period with a penalty kill. So maybe they're feeling some momentum here, like we were saying earlier. Simley 1-2-1 in their last 4 games. They closed out December pretty hot. They had a win over Winona, a win over Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato, but then on the 30th and 31st, they lost to Mankato West and Anoka. Came back in the new year, rebounded with a 4-3 win over their rivals on the road at Doug Woog Arena over the Packers, and they're coming off of a tie, a 2-2 tie versus Visitation on the 10th. Trying to pick up the win here as we are underway here in the second period. The Raiders, the furious attack here in the opening seconds, trying to break this goose egg we have going on here. Erickson with the puck, sends it over to the near side for a teammate, and we'll get a stoppage of play here 25 seconds into this one. We'll take another look at that last sequence here. There's the pass from Erickson, the shot fired, and just a nice save there from Reese. Tremendous goaltender in her own right. We haven't called her name too much here tonight. That's only her 3rd save. Offensive zone face-off taken here for Hastings. Pumped down low. Was initially greeted by Krauth and another Raider. I believe that's Schreifer. Now Schreifer loses the puck to Webinger. A spill, a couple of point-blank shots there around the crease here for Hastings, and that one's going to slip past. Icing's going to be waved off. A race for the puck's going to be won here from Simley as Lanning watches on. Now Tecito loses the puck, flipped along the boards. And we'll have an offsides call here against Hastings. Face-off to be taken here from Siebenaller. Simley on the retreat. Slips the puck past a couple of Raiders, but the Raiders will send it down low, poked at and covered up from Reese. Seeing a little more action here in period number 2. Maybe a different offensive philosophy, or maybe just some new fervor here for this Raiders offense here after the intermission. Some nice adjustments from head coach Jim Joseph. A couple of Raiders players run into each other, and that one, I believe, is going to go off into the bench. So in period number 2, the shots on net getting ever closer here. 3 shots on net for Hastings in the first, 90 seconds really, and none for Simley. Get a center ice face-off here on the Pirate logo. Race for the puck's going to be reversed. Icing called off. Stoffel with speed, wrapping around Lanning. Pushed down low from, I believe, Labor. Now the Spartans switching to the other side, kicked away from Labor. Now Lexi Fenton fires a shot. That one will be careening off into that far side corner. But the Raiders just trying to get as many opportunities as possible here. Not a bad strategy to go about it. We've certainly seen other teams this season use that against Hastings with the discrepancy in shots on net. Never know what can happen with a rebound or crashing the net, as that one goes on the wrong side of the pipe for Hastings. Trying to make something happen to the right of Reese. And we'll get an icing call here against the Spartans. So the Raiders putting the Spartans on the ropes here early on, but either team with anything to show for it on the scoreboard here. I suppose it should be expected. It was a 2-1 victory the last time they played, so a rather low-scoring affair. Wrapping around, firing a shot. That one deflected. Still in the field of play. You got somebody's stick stuck in somebody's armpit there. Now a 2-on-1 here for the Spartans. Poked away brilliantly. And we got a Spartan player taking a tumble. Can't imagine that felt good, but it looks like she'll get up under her own power. But what a great defensive stop there for Hastings. A shot and a glove save by Reese. That makes that 5 shots on net here for the Raiders. And here's that brilliant defensive poke check there for the Raiders. I believe that was Erickson. I only caught the very tail end of that one, but either way, just a great play on with a 2-on-1 bearing down on Lanning. Shot's going to be fired. Takes an interesting deflection, but a little bit too far to the right. Centering pass. That one zips right across the feet of Lanning, or excuse me, Reese. Another poke away here for the Raiders defense. Raiders trying to set up shop here. That one fired into the opposite corner. Maybe a little push from behind, but they'll let it play on. Coming into some open ice here. A little backhander. Pushed in down low, just off the mark. And another push. That one was a little too big to ignore for the referees, that elbow there. So unfortunately for the Raiders, they'll be going on the penalty kill once again. We'll see if we can't get a better look here, and that's about as good of a look as you could possibly get. So we'll have a Raider in the box. I believe that is Allison Werner. So that's 2 penalties for the Raiders here tonight, none for the Spartans, and we'll go right back to the face-off circle off of that one.
Number 16, Allison Warner, 2 minutes for a body check, 4:40.
And it'll be 2 minutes for a body check. The Raiders did a tremendous job of killing the power play the last time they were on the kill. However, it did require a couple of tremendous saves from Lanning. You don't necessarily want to keep leaning on her, as good as she is. You get enough shots on net, you're tempting fate here for Simley. That one fired, deflected off of the body of Tecito, who turns around and fires that one. Now Sanders stripped away, but it'll stay here with Simley. Webinger closed out. And a push from behind. That's going to be a penalty here for the Spartans. So we still have 74 seconds on the PK for Hastings, so we'll have some even strength hockey as we get another look at this infraction here from Webinger. Sort of a dangerous play there. You can sort of see the head bouncing off of the off the boards there. Luckily, it doesn't seem like anybody was hurt on that one, but we will have some even strength hockey here, and then following the conclusion of the Raiders penalty, as we get a shot on net right off the faceoff there from Siebenaler, but we'll have about 45 seconds of a power play at the end of it for Hastings. So we'll see how the Raiders do here with some more open ice. It's a very fast team that could put open ice to good use, especially with some of their defensemen like Erickson. The aforementioned Erickson with the puck, pushed into the boards. Fans maybe wanting a call on that one, not going to get it. Now Simley back the other way. Shepard gets the puck stolen away by Molly Magnuson. Almost a centering pass sort of shot there from a very acute angle. Stopped there from Lanning, taken up here by Siebenaler. Stoffel colliding with a Spartan, comes out no worse for wear. Pumps the brakes, but she'll turn it over to Sanders as the Raiders penalty will expire here, so they'll go on a 5-on-4 penalty for the next 40 seconds. Simley still on the attack, however. And we're going to reset here for Hastings. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Might only get a couple of opportunities here if they can even get the puck down low. It's going to be fallen upon by Mackenzie Reese. And once again, we'd like to thank the Spool House for sponsoring this broadcast. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. More information can be found at thespoolhouse.com. Raiders, 22 seconds on the power play. They win the faceoff. Looking to crash the net. That one deflected off of the skates of a Spartan defender. Pass down low. They'll need to get a shot off here. Looking for an open teammate. Back to Erickson. The power play will expire. That shot fired. And nearly found enough room to squeak in top shelf there, but it looks like there was a player in the crease there. We'll take another look at it. You'll see a great angle here. You just see the C's sort of part right there. Ultimately, it did deflect off of the armpit or shoulder of a Raiders teammate, but that's just kind of how this game has gone tonight. Just a tremendous opportunity, but once again, sitting here with a scoreless game halfway through this one. Reese falling over on the puck. And once again, she'll stand tall. Just so indicative of how this game is going. It might be a 1-0 win for whatever team can get the first goal. We'll see Hastings now with speed, pulling up on the near side, crashing the net, but holding on to the puck. Too many bodies in the way now. Schreifer sends it off for Magnuson. Centering pass to the Hockey Day logo. Poked away. Ultimately couldn't be kept on sides here for Hastings. And now the Spartans bringing up the puck, closed out by a handful of Raider defenders, and that one's going to go out into the open door. Bad time to have the door open there, just snuck its way in there. Well, time is flying here in this second period. We were off to a very choppy start of the game with a bunch of stoppages in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the opening period, but time is just flying by here in stanza number 2. The Raiders totally flipping the shots on net for whatever that's worth. They came into this period, I believe it was 8-2, and now it's 13-8 in favor of Hastings. So that's 11 unanswered shots on net. Ultimately hasn't turned into anything yet because of the great play of Reese, as we will get an offsides call here against the Spartans. Under 8 to go here. The puck working its way back in the zone here for Simley. Stripped away from Hastings, but bounces off of the legs of Labor. A little pushing and shoving there in the corner. Great idea there from Magnuson, tied up a little bit on the boards. So the Raiders initially lost possession of the puck there, but it'll be taken from Schreifer. Reese sprawling out on her knees, deflects that one over to the far side. Hastings trying to crash into the zone, met with ample resistance there from the Spartans. A huge hit along the boards, and that's going to draw the attention of the referee, so we'll have a delayed penalty upcoming, and now we'll get to it. So the Raiders, for the first time tonight, are going to go on a proper power play. Obviously, they had that sort of 45-second mini power play a few minutes ago. Take another look at the play here. Seems clear as day. Pretty big hit. Don't let anybody say girls hockey is not physical. So Labor, the 8th grader, laying down the wood, and she'll have to go into the box for a couple of minutes. See what the Raiders can do here with some time to work on the power play. That shot deflected by Reese. O'Reilly had possession of the puck there for a couple of seconds. That's been a real danger for Hastings this year, allowing shorthanded goals. They've allowed a handful of them in the games that we've covered. So a shorthanded goal, a possibility here for Simley, unless some adjustments were made on the Hastings side. They'll turn the puck over, and that's going to result in a clear. Now Erickson, plenty of speed, plenty of momentum, wrapping around Reese. Leaves it back for Schreifer. Off in the wings. Looking to pass, hard pass off the boards, back to the point. Fired in, and a glove save taken there from Reese. Well, we'll take another look at that last shot there. A hard shot from the blue line from Erickson. But again, you can see why all of the stats back up Reese. Just a tremendous performance from her really all season. She's had to face 15 shots on goal in this period alone. We still have 5 minutes to go. And with that, the penalty will expire here for Simley. They'll successfully kill it off and take the puck on the attack here. Sanders ends up losing the puck. Staples putting in some work. Now Sanders stops on a dime, fires a shot, and a save for Lanning. Her first save of the second period. It's really been a battle between Sanders and Lanning the entire game. I don't know exactly how many shots on net Sanders has, but she has to have it at least over half of the shots on net for the Spartans, trying to get goal number 27 on the season. Now Hastings with some speed will get a dump and chase. Maybe the angle wasn't right there for Hastings. Shot fired and an easy glove save. Shot there from Bentley Stoffel. And we'll take another look at that shot here from Stoffel. Just read all the way there from Mackenzie Reese. Raiders will have to get on sides here, so they'll retreat back in open ice. Tipped forward and swept away from the captain there for Simley. And an icing call here against the visitors. So an offensive zone face-off taken here for Hastings. Under 4 minutes to go. Puck back at the blue line, fired in, deflected like so many have been here tonight. Icing is going to be waved off. Great defensive recovery here for the Raiders. Now some open ice to work with here for Schreifer, working her way to the other side. A backhand pulls Reese out of the net. A long outlet pass. I don't think that was seen by a Spartan, so that's going to result in another icing. They're going to go right back into their defensive zone. Both teams still in pursuit of goal number one here. You got to wonder, what is it going to take? Raiders trying to crash the net there off of the faceoff. Another faceoff which was won by Hastings here tonight. Puck deflects off of a referee, and we're back the other way. Spartans on the back foot. Puck careening around the half wall. Backhanded centering pass intercepted from Woveris. Icing called off. Puck past Schreifer. Torkelson closing in. A shot from way downtown. Going to be stolen up there from Lanning. Take another look at this. I mean, this is from Steph Curry 3 range. Just trying to see if anything can happen there for the Spartans as that one bounces up. And Simley scores. I'm sure we'll get a better look at it on the replay. Looks like they're going to credit that one to Johnson. That's going to come. We are pretty close to closing out the second period. We'll get a better look here. The puck was just bouncing around like a pinball machine. It was on the right side of Lanning, and then before you know it, it was on that left side and pushed in. And Jim Joseph is having some sort of conversation with all three of these referees. Here's maybe even a better angle at seeing what's going on. I mean, before Lanning could even react, the puck was in the back of the net. It's hard to falter on that one. You feel like the positioning there was solid. The puck just sort of teleported there to the far side. So it's going to be a 1-0 lead here for the Spartans in a period where the Raiders had 16 shots on net. It's the Spartans who end up striking first here. We'll see if they can hold on to that lead, or maybe the floodgates will open. Only time will tell. Sort of an unfortunate goal from a Raiders perspective. Certainly take it if you're a fan of the blue and red. Just 90 seconds to go here in the second period. Puck stalling along the boards. Broken free from behind Johnson. Haynes tried to get a sort of centering pass or a shot there from within the face-off circle. Stolen away from Sanders. And again, she just sort of runs out of real estate. Maybe clipped in the head, clipped in the face mask there. Was grabbing her face mask for a second. She seems all right now, but another good opportunity there for Simley, as maybe they can feel the momentum change here towards the end of the second period. Siebenaller attempted to cut back there. Closed off. We got a Raiders player taking a spill. And now Erickson forced to retreat with 30 seconds to go. Nearly a pickpocket there from Sanders. Now Erickson putting that speed to good use. Drawing a reaction there out of Reese. Back behind, Siebenaller just swaying back and forth here. They're gonna have to get a shot off here, under 10. Anybody's puck for the taking. It'll be slowed down here from the Spartans, and the puck will die along the boards here. So we reach the end of the second period here. A very hectic period, a period where it looked like the Raiders maybe inevitably were going to get something on the board with the amount of shots on net they had. The only goal here comes from Johnson, as we see on the replay there, with 2:11 to go in the second period. So we'll head into intermission number 2. It's a 1-0 lead for the visiting Spartans here over the hometown Hastings Raiders.
With over 300 passionate educators, our dedication to student success has never been stronger. These educators are more than teachers.
Let's paint the picture.
They are mentors who ignite curiosity and inspire a lifelong passion for learning. Our schools provide real-world experiences through cutting-edge programs in engineering and environmental science. At Hastings, we take pride in our blend of rigorous academics and enriching arts and athletic programs. These programs nourish our students' educational journey, enhancing their creativity and discipline and fostering skills that resonate throughout their academic and personal lives. This is Hastings Public Schools, where we care, we empower, and we achieve. Students are at the heart of all we do.
Push that trash that way, not this way. Come on.
Oh, hey there. Do you like HCTV?
That's one small step for Hastings and one giant leap for community television.
Do you want a custom video that promotes your business or organization and gives you the results you're looking for? As an HCTV sponsor, our staff will work with your business or organization to create a custom video to promote your brand. You also have an option of getting a shout out in every sporting event we cover. And that's 3 points for your business.
So support HCTV today!
Go to hastingstv.org/sponsors for more information or to give a one-time donation.
Some you've heard of more, but it doesn't bother me cause I just love to explore. Interviewing owners and lending a hand. I love to assist for as long as they can stand.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hastings Civic Arena as we get set for the start of period number 3 here. A 1-0 lead for the Simley Spartans over the Hastings Raiders. I'm Owen Neely on the broadcast. Take a look at the Hockey Day Minnesota 2026 schedule. This is the final day, January 24th. Should be a great one. We got the Park Wolfpack taking on the Hastings Raiders girls hockey, this very team at 9:30 a.m. So get your coffee ready. We'll have boys hockey at 1 p.m., the Eastridge Raptors and the Hastings Raiders, and then to close it out at 4:30, Rock Ridge Wolverines taking on the St. Thomas Academy Cadets at that United Heroes League facility there over in the eastern part of Hastings. There you can see the Hockey Day logo down there. Such a big thing for this city and the state of hockey to host Hockey Day Minnesota. Should be tremendous. It's a week-long endeavor as well, which I didn't know about until recently, but they have stuff starting on January 17th, which is just a few days away. I saw they had the Iowa Wild the night before on the 23rd will be taking on the Milwaukee Admirals. So they'll have an AHL game down there. Just an awesome experience here for this city. Really, truly, you know, you look at a lot of those northern cities, you look at Warroad and Roseau, but I think you have to include Hastings. You look at the amount of talent and just how much people love hockey here. Only fitting that we're getting Hockey Day 2026 here in Hastings as we are underway here for the start of the third period. Shot attempt there for Hastings. This was just a scoreless game up until 2 minutes before the second intermission, where we had Johnson for Simley scoring a goal. Such a hard-fought game here between these two teams, and finally the goose egg is broken here. We don't know if it'll be enough to get it done all the way to take them home, but we'll get an icing call here, and that's going to return back to the Hastings defensive zone, and Reese in the net for Simley, just playing out of her mind, particularly in that second period. Had to stop 16 shots on net. Lanning's played extremely well as well for Hastings. You don't want to call it a fluky goal necessarily, but maybe a goal that was out of the control of Lanning. So we'll see if Hastings can rally. They're generally a team this year that gets better as the game goes on. Got Johnson, the goal scorer, taking a spill there, and I thought we had a phantom whistle there. Play continues on. Point blank shot there from Selden. Here at Klang off of the post. Now Lanning watching on, switching posts. Hamann pinned in that corner. Johnson again taking a tumble. A hard slap shot from Woverus. Goes wide right there for Simley. We've certainly seen some ebbs and flows throughout this game. Seems like Simley's in the ebb of being on the attack here, as we will get sort of essentially a clear there for Hastings. And we will get a stoppage of play here with 14:53 to go, and it looks like somebody might be heading over to the box. And that's going to be Sky Woodwick, the freshman, going to the box here for Hastings. So not what the doctor ordered here for the Raiders if they're looking to mount a comeback here, going down 2-0. I know that's the most dangerous lead in hockey, but I don't think the Raiders want to go down 2-0 here. They've played very well on the penalty kill. We'll see if that trend can continue on here. Just a 2-minute minor. They'll have to kill off here. Successful clear for Hastings. A lot of open ice to work with here for the Spartans, but they'll turn it over to Erickson. Slaps it back and forth. Now Erickson firing a shot. And a save there from Reese. Raiders sure could use a short-handed goal here. Just over a minute 20 to go here on this PK. They'll take an offensive zone face-off. They've been so good at winning the face-offs all night. They'll lose that one, however. But Simley still forced back into their own zone. Nearly swiped out of the air from Siebenaller. Now Staples pulling up on the near side. Wrapping around Lanning. Looking menacingly, looking to pass, sends it down low, pushing and shoving, and it's going to result in a save being made there for Addison Lanning. A lot of commotion there in the crease. There you can see she's just taking her time, looking for the right opportunity there, and there's two forwards there for Simley who had their defenders beat, or rather were lower than the defenders there, but Lanning standing tall. Hastings deciding not to clear here. They'll just bring the puck up and send it into the opposite corner. It's Siebenaller. Final push here for the Spartans. 20 seconds to go here on the power play. That one deflected and off into the netting. Hard slap shot there from Ella Sanders. So we'll have Shepard taking on Torkelson there for the face-off. O'Reilly managing to hold on to the puck here. A little slash there from the Raiders forward. That's Schreifer. And they'll get a clear just as they kill the penalty. Luckily for Hastings, they'll wave off that icing there. It was pretty close timing. A bunch of players taking a slide here for both teams. Now Schwab carrying the puck up into the zone. That one nearly snuck in on the inside of the pipe. A juke to the outside, looking to pass, wrapping around. Sanders once again threatening. Now the Raiders here on a 1-on-3. Mackenzie Krauth brings the puck up as far as it can go. Cross ice pass at the blue line, slap shot. Reese had to go pretty far out of the net to greet that one. Simley wanting a penalty there. Thinking maybe there's a little extra contact there from a Hastings player, but we'll play on. Back in front of the bench, that one elbowed away from Sanders. Down low with some space, a cross ice pass, working away down low. Interesting rebound opportunity there for Hastings. A screamer coming in from Erickson from the Hockey Day logo. Now things settling down a little bit for Reese, and just as I say that, puck stolen away from Erickson. That one thuds right off of the chest of Reese. Stays in the field of play. A lot of deflected shots here, really from both teams here tonight, as we'll get Reese falling on the puck, but certainly on behalf of Simley, I mean, they're just deflecting every other shot on net here. So an offensive zone face-off. Tecito slides it along the boards. Staples hooked from behind. And there's going to be no ambiguity about that one. So the Raiders going to go back on the PK here. That's their 4th penalty of the night. Not conducive to springing a comeback here, but still 10.5 minutes to go. We'll take another look at it here. About as textbook as it gets. So now shorthanded, Erickson just flying down the ice but loses the puck. That could have been something interesting for Hastings. Again, seeking that elusive shorthanded goal. Unfortunately, they're all too familiar with it this season, being on the opposite end. They almost made it a reality a couple of times here tonight. 10 minutes to go here in regulation. And an easy clear here for Hastings. We'll get a full line change. Now Simley really taking their time here on the power play. Like about 20 seconds or so elapse. Get another quasi clear there for Hastings. Now Sanders tries to work her way at least around a couple of Raiders defenders, but it's poked away. Collision in the corner and a delayed penalty. Will have the netminder heading to the bench, and they'll have to send her right back because the delayed penalty is no longer delayed. So the Raiders, much like the one of the earlier penalties, it was a power play for Simley. As we get another look at it here, and maybe a tripping call there on Sanders. But just like one of the last times Simley was on a power play, they shot themselves in the foot, so it'll be even strength. This time only for 20 seconds, and then you'll have a minute 40 of power play here for Hastings. Last time I think it was the exact reverse. They only had about maybe 30 seconds of a proper power play after the even strength negated itself. But you got to think the Raiders feel good about even strength as well, as we'll have Lanning falling on the puck. Just with the speed they have with a lot of their top line players. Erickson in particular, certainly a threat just to take it coast to coast with all that extra space. Errant shot there from Woveris, and just like that, the penalty will expire there for Hastings, so now they'll have 90 seconds of a power play. Unfortunately, it's going to be an icing call here against Hastings. Raiders still leading on shots on net, not something that they've done too many games here this year, by a pretty comfortable margin. And You won't get a call there, but that could have been potentially another tripping call. We'll see what Hastings can do here on the power play. We'll get a dump and chase, and they're just going to call that an icing, so we'll go back right into the defensive zone. Not really going to plan there for Hastings on the power play, but here's that last play. I mean, you decide at home. We know what the refs decided. That one was not a penalty. But either way, the Raiders still with a golden opportunity here to try to get this equalizer. If they can just matriculate the puck down the ice here. Siebenthaler's a good choice to do it, wrapping around. Looking to connect back at the blue line. Hamann to Stoffel. Fires that one in, and Reese sprawling out, making the save. A little late shove from behind, right to the back of Siebenthaler. I guess you got to protect the goaltender there, but there you see Reese just totally, basically in the Superman pose, just totally sprawled out. Played one heck of a game here tonight, even though it's 24 shots on net. She's just been stellar for the Spartans here tonight. Another shot in from the blue line. Got a player spinning around. Hamann was looking to put that one in, back to the point for Stoffel. Sends that one high, and it's off into the netting. Only 12 seconds to go here on this power play. A couple of really prime opportunities for Hastings to try to get this equalizer here on this power play, but whether Simley's getting lucky or whether or not they're playing out of their mind, or whether it's a combination of both, which it probably is, they've just been standing tall here in this third period, and really a good chunk of the second period too. You had that long stretch of unanswered shots on net. So we get a defensive zone face-off. Webinger fires the puck in. 7 minutes to go. The power play will expire, so we're back to 5-on-5, even strength hockey. A shot from downtown, deflected. That was Erickson looking for goal number 8 on the season. Wrapping around. Can't tell if that one was deflected. The puck finds its way here into the near side corner. Still plenty of time left in this one, 6.5 to go, but the time is slowly but surely running out here for Hastings if they want to send this one to overtime or even win it in regulation, as we get another long save there for Mackenzie Reese. We'll take another look at it here. Again, that one's from way downtown outside of the blue line, but they're just trying to put anything on net. Hard to snipe such a quality goaltender like Mackenzie Reese. Stoffel was looking to fire that one in, sort of deflected mid-windup. Now Johnson, the goal scorer, her pass over to Selden. Puck along the boards. Fired right across the crease. Now Schreifer, or excuse me, Torkelson, bringing the puck in for Hastings. Tipped off of the skate of Werner. Anybody's puck for the taking here at center ice. Simley, a shot deflected into the corner. little regroup here for Hastings as a handful of Spartans are closing in. Puck to Webinger. Again, fires it in. Greeted by Stoffel. Raiders having a tough time breaking their own blue line here. Shot fired, and another goal here for the Spartans. That one just a brilliant snipe for the road team, and that might do it. A goal there for the captain. It's the aforementioned Webinger. Take a look here, plenty of space provided to her. Maybe not the best angle to be firing that shot off, but it was just so unbelievably accurate. She just sneaked that one past Lanning. On the opposite side too, just a brilliant shot there from Webinger. And it's going to be a 2-0 lead here for the Spartans. So now the Raiders really have their work cut out for them if they want to get back in this one. Of course, it's probably never too early to think about maybe pulling your goaltender. Time flies. And you got to get 2 of them. You've had 0 here tonight. As we do get a whistle as Hastings moves past the blue line to take another look at the goal from Webinger. Just a thing of beauty there for Simley. And that's going to be Webinger's 3rd goal on the season. Now Simley with another good opportunity here to put an exclamation point on this one, but it was viewed all the way there from Lanning. Under 4 to go here. Luckily for Hastings, they don't have to go on the road anymore this season. They got 4 games remaining after this one. They got visitation coming up on Saturday from this very arena on the 24th. They'll be a part of Hockey Day in Minnesota 2026 at the United Heroes League rink, taking on Park of Cottage Grove. And a few days later, they'll take on Eastridge, another home game, and they'll close out the season January 31st versus Owatonna. So I know they had that big road trip out to Benson. They had that 12-0 win in their last game against Morris Benson. But if there's any consolation as we get an icing here, they won't have to travel anymore this season. Simley's got 4 games remaining. They'll take on Austin at Veterans Arena on Saturday as well. Come back the following Friday. They'll take on St. Paul Two Rivers, who we've seen earlier this season take on the Raiders, as it looks like we'll get a timeout called here. And then they'll take on visitation and close out with a home game against Northern Tier. Both teams maybe not with the amount of wins they would have wanted this season, but certainly all these games matter, especially for the seniors and upperclassmen. You want to close out strong here to end the season. We'll see if the Raiders can't pull off some sort of comeback here, but certainly they're running out of time. Not for lack of opportunity or lack of trying. 28 shots on net. Very healthy attendance here at the arena tonight, really from both teams. I know it's not a tremendous drive over from Invergrove Heights, but still plenty of people making the journey. They've been treated to a good one here tonight. Got to figure we're going to be in for a solid ending here. But like I said, the Raiders, they're going to have their work cut out for them here. Be curious to see how soon they want to pull. I mean, how soon they want to pull out their goaltender. I say that, but there's only 3:14 to go in this one, so you got to figure if they'll probably get pretty aggressive here. If they win a face-off, maybe they'll immediately take out Lanning. You know what Anthony LaPanta says, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in all of hockey, so we'll see if that reigns true here. They pulled their netminder, so it's a 6-on-5, so it's going to be vital they win this race here. And they do, but it's taken over from Simley, deflected. That one might have gone in, and that one bounces right off of the post. That certainly would have sealed it right there. A laser of a shot there from Simley. Raiders need to regroup here. Just try to put one on the board. They turn it over. That one fired off the mark. Yet another turnover here for Hastings. Simley pushing the puck down low here. It's going to be battled for here in the near side corner. Pulled out by O'Reilly. Spinning around, tried a little Pierre-Marc Bouchard spinorama right there, but it was closed out. A huge hit. A huge hit into the glass that was not called. And now we do get a stoppage, so maybe it was called after all. Or rather, we might have another timeout here on the ice, so maybe that's a lucky break from a Raiders perspective. Oh, and we did have a player down. That's what the stoppage was for. It was hard to tell from our angle up here. Sort of an obstructed view into that corner. That looks like that's Olivia Erickson, so very important player for Hastings. Obviously, health comes first, so you hope she's all right. I couldn't quite see what was the cause of that. Maybe we'll see here on the replay. Yeah, and there you can sort of see that in the corner there. It was a heavy hit. We've seen a lot of heavy hits in this one here tonight. It was crazy watching that open ice hit, I believe, in the second period. It has been a very physical game here. So the Raiders no longer on a 6-on-5. Lanning's back in between the posts. 90 seconds to go here before the end of this one. Sanders trying to get that ever elusive goal to her tonight, and we will have an offsides call. A little hard shove there from Woodwick for good measure. So we'll have a face-off here right in front of the Raiders bench. Puck received by Johnson. Turned over. It couldn't quite connect with Siebenaller. Puck wrapping around the boards. Exactly 1 minute to go here. Turned over to Johnson in the zone. DeCito with a shot, and another save here for Lanning. Again, another tremendous performance from Lanning, just beat on really just a tremendous goal, a tremendous snipe from Webinger, and then the sort of the pinball goal from Johnson. Puck swept out of the danger zone here for Hastings. Carrying up, pushing to the outside. Webinger there to greet a Raider. And that one almost cleared, but it makes contact with Erickson. A huge slap there as we have a 6-on-5 as they pull the goaltender for an empty net. We will get a whistle here with 16 seconds to go. And they're going to end up putting Lanning back in the net here. Hard-fought battle here in this one. A very exciting game to watch, but unfortunately for Raiders fans, it's not going to go the way of Hastings here. We get one final stop there from Lanning as the Simley Spartans will come on the road, and they'll pick up a 2-0 victory over the Hastings Raiders. Hastings will drop to 4-16-1 on the season. Simley will advance to 9-10-2 on the season. They'll get back to their winning ways, which they were into towards the latter half of December. Starting off the new year here with an impressive road victory. They won the earlier matchup in the season 2-1 at their home arena, and they come on the road here and they pirate a win away from the Hastings Raiders. Take a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule. On the 15th, we'll have boys swim and dive versus Simley. On the 16th, girls basketball, I think that's Friday, girls basketball versus Tartan. We'll come back on the 20th, boys hockey versus Waconia. And then on the 21st, Dakota United Hawks doubleheader. So we'll be busy here at HCTV. Special shout out to Town Square Television for covering this one. Unfortunately for the Raiders, they dropped this one 2-0 at home. I'd like to give a special thanks to all of the crew here tonight that made this game possible. Once again, the Raiders fall 2-0 to the Simley Spartans. For Owen Ely, this is HCTV Sports.